Hey, Kara Johnston. I'm gonna read my story. Okay. I started cross country back in elementary school, but back then it was called running club. I will never forget the swell of joy in my heart when I won my first blue ribbon. I had done it all by myself, and no one could claim this victory but me. I know this is a long cry about what I felt in high school, but for us to understand that, we must first visit what led me to run. As a teenager or preteen, I played multiple sports, including, but not limited to, soccer, basketball, and swimming. While I did not enjoy swimming as much as I did soccer or basketball, for years I suffered through the sport. I was finally allowed to quit in the 4th grade, and I couldn't have been happier about it. I was sad when I stopped playing soccer and basketball, and I still miss it to this day, but my choice in stopping the sport is not as clear as you would think. I tried out for both the 7th and 8th grade team for both sports in my school. I know that I should have practiced the sports for tryouts, and even though my dad offered, I was cocky and confident that I could make it all my own. I did not end up making any school team that was a cut sport. And sometimes I look back with regret and think of what could have been. I know that without cross country, I would not be the person that I am today. I had a lot of fun in cross country my 7th and 8th grade years. I was decent at it too. I placed at sectionals and went on to win the EDC championships back to back with my team. My accomplishments are tainted when you look at the work I put in for them. I messed around at practice, and instead of living up to my potential, I ran with, for lack of a nicer word, the slow kids. I did not want to find out if this gut type feeling I had in my stomach that was kind of like fear was right. You see this fear in kids who rush through their assignments, the ones who later in life end up settling in their careers and their marriages. They're afraid that this is the best they can do, and despite how miserable they may be, they will not work for something more, only hope for it. They are afraid to try and find out that your best is simply not good enough. I had this fear going into tryouts week, and again into my first year of cross country. But when I came to the realization that cross country continued through high school, I flipped. I had never felt more trapped and alone than in that moment. I was backed into a corner by what my parents wanted for me and what people thought I would be good at. I broke down the night before practice, freaking out about what time it started and covering my real reasons. That same year, my freshman year of cross country, I hated every single second of it. Don't get me wrong, I still put in effort and I worked hard. But for me, there was no reward. I was working towards nothing. I was not a quitter though, and planned to quit when the season ended. As you can probably assume, that did not end up happening. And later that year, I had made up my mind that I was not going to pursue track. And after many, many long talks with my parents, I would pursue track for 1 year, cross country for all 4. And for the first year that I refused to do track, I would have chores every day after school. They weren't easy chores either. They were like backyard work. I earned my keep. I think I surprised my parents with when I accepted their deal. I showed how stubborn I was. So every day there was track. I was out there doing chores. I look back and smile at this. The fact that I was so scared to try track that I wouldn't do it at all. I have to thank my stubborn nature for the missed opportunity to try track my freshman year. I'm going to be a senior this year. This will mark many things that I do for the last time. This will include running with my team. My team. It's crazy. The one that's pushed me to my limits, helped me find new milestones after I crushed the previous ones, and picked me up after I placed 101th for the 2nd year in a row in the same race. I would not be where I am today without this sport, the one that has inspired me to take life by the reins and simply live to live the good days and the bad. In running, the bad days are bad because they exist in every aspect of my life. In non-runner terms, running is a fire in my soul, so bright and warm that without it, all other life is diminished and dull. I live for the moments when I feel like giving up, because it's just another chance to prove to myself that I can do it. There are some days where, despite everything I have going for me, I give up. This story is not about that. I want my story to rush past the bad parts and skip to the good. I want the people closest to me to read this and reflect on what they thought I was going through. This story is a testament to who I am now, the kind of person who, when time gets tough, starts to work harder. How at first the fear of failure, while at first was daunting, is a shadow to me now, and it's forever nipping at my heels, never fully able to catch up.